continue our series looking at 3 potential trade candidates from each position. Today, that position is shortstop. Let's get into it. What's going on, baseball fans? Jeremy Latacuente here for the Baseball Banter broadcast, and as I said in the open, today we're going to be discussing 3 shortstops who could potentially be on the move by the July 31st trading deadline. So we begin with number 3. Now, that third shortstop on my list is that of Elvis Andrus. The Oakland Athletics are absolutely abysmal this year and likely aren't going to be any better in the next coming couple of seasons. So moving a guy like Elvis Andrus, a veteran player who could potentially be moved to a contending team to help boost their abilities to make a run in the postseason, would absolutely benefit the Oakland A's. Getting back any sort of potential prospect value for a guy like Elvis Andrus would absolutely be in Oakland's best benefit. I think when you look at what this player can provide, it's a solid veteran guy who can hit at the bottom of the order, provide a little bit of defensive value as well, and this is going to be a player who has an opportunity to head to a contending team and try and contribute. He's not going to be able to be doing that with the Oakland A's, so it's going to be in their best interest to move a player like Andrus. As we get into the second player on my list, it is that of Jose Iglesias of the Colorado Rockies. I think when you look at what this player is, this is a very good defensive player who has a little bit of offensive contributions. But when you look at what he's playing for right now in the Colorado Rockies organization, there's not a lot to play for. This player's defensive ability will absolutely help a contending team as a late game defensive replacement, or if you're struggling at that position overall, you can plug him in at the bottom of the order and get a little bit of something out of him. I think there's an opportunity for Colorado to try to maximize their return on a player like this, especially with so many teams being able to compete for a postseason spot this year. A guy like Iglesias absolutely could add value to a contending team looking to make a run in the postseason. As we know, pitching and defense wins in the postseason, and therefore Jose Iglesias has a tremendous amount of value. And as we get into the number 1 shortstop, it is arguably the best defensive shortstop in the game today, Andrelton Simmons of the Chicago Cubs. When you look at what the Cubs are doing this year, it doesn't seem as if they're going to be able to compete. It's clear that they're the 3rd best team in that division, but the Cardinals and Brewers are so far ahead of them, in my opinion, that they're not going to be able to truly compete. And therefore, moving a guy like Andrelton Simmons absolutely would provide value to the Cubs in return. A guy like Simmons, being such a very good defender, is only going to stand to help a contending team. As I just said in the case of Jose Iglesias, pitching and defense wins championships, and having a defensive stalwart like Andrelton Simmons on your bench, being able to come in late in games and be able to make those stellar defensive plays when the lights are the most brightest in the postseason run, a guy like Andrelton Simmons could have true value for a contending team. But I want to hear from you guys. Let me know your thoughts, your feelings on this down in the comment section below. Who is the most likely shortstop to be on the move by the July 31st trading deadline? Let me know this down in the comments, or find me over on Twitter at JLatacuente19 to keep the conversation rolling. As always, keep it locked into the entire JLMG family with WeStibbs, the Granny Geek Show, and of course here on the Baseball Banter broadcast. For sticking around to this point, head over to baseballbanterbroadcast.com, our merchandise shop, and use the promo code BANTER to save 5% off your order. Keep it locked in all season long as we continue to look at 3 players who could be on the move from each position in Major League Baseball, as well as the latest news, notes, and my personal thoughts, theories, and opinions on the game of Major League Baseball. Peace.